What if the tranquil Amish way of life wasn't as uncomplicated as it appears? Behind the simple dresses and peaceful farmhouses lies a hidden world of rigid traditions, astonishing secrets, and untold challenges. Did you know that some Amish women quietly use modern beauty products in private while others only wash themselves once a week? And what about the courtship practices where young couples share the same bed fully clothed without crossing certain boundaries? Stay with us as we uncover the aspects of Amish women's lives that they'd rather keep hidden from the world. Many outsiders believe the Amish have strict, unchanging views on life. But what if I told you that beneath the peaceful barns and bonnets, there exists a complex issue so controversial, even the Amish tend to avoid talking about it? In Amish communities, children are considered blessings, precious gifts from God. Large families are the norm, a symbol of faith and devotion. But what happens when these blessings arrive under circumstances that are too difficult to handle? How do women navigate situations where another pregnancy could endanger their health? Or worse, when a child is conceived under tragic circumstances? While most Amish communities are staunchly against contraception, there are some where families discreetly choose it to protect the well-being of the mother. These choices are made quietly, often without the approval of their leaders. As one insider shared, birth control isn't openly discussed, but families make the decision when they must. And what about pregnancy termination? Officially forbidden, but in rare, heartbreaking cases, it still occurs. Some mothers have resorted to homemade remedies to end pregnancies. These stories expose a hidden struggle that contrasts sharply with the serene image of Amish life. But they aren't unique. Organizations like the Amish Rescue Mission are working tirelessly to protect those in difficult, unjust situations. Next, we'll explore the secret grooming rituals of Amish women, what's seen as too modern and what's quietly accepted. Stay with us and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss our next video. We truly appreciate your support and we're committed to bringing you more. Many assume Amish women completely reject modern grooming, but the truth is more nuanced. In more relaxed communities, women shave their legs and underarms, use deodorant, and even apply a bit of makeup to smooth their complexion. It's subtle, not flashy, but it's enough for them. One former Amish man shared, "My sister-in-law always had the softest hands. She used lotion every morning, but she'd never admit it. It wasn't for others, it was for herself." In more conservative Amish groups, hygiene follows a different pattern. Daily showers are rare, with some women bathing just once a week, often on Saturday nights, using water heated over a stove. These routines are shaped by practicality, but contrast sharply with more lenient communities where running water allows for daily showers. In a Schwarzentreuber community, a woman might spend her week hauling water for the family, saving her own bath for the weekend. Meanwhile, in progressive communities, a young Amish woman might shower daily after a long day at a community bakery. Now consider something like plucking your eyebrows. It might seem trivial to many, but for Amish women, it's a balancing act of maintaining modesty while wanting to feel confident. These small choices, like wearing light perfume or using a razor, offer fleeting moments of individuality in a life bound by tradition. According to a 2023 Pew Research Center report, nearly 50% of Amish communities in North America are shifting toward more lenient practices, reflecting gradual changes in hygiene habits and technology use. Let us know in the comments, what surprised you most about Amish women's grooming habits? We'd love to hear your thoughts. As we conclude the beauty story, let's talk about childbirth. How do Amish women navigate these natural processes in such a strict society? The answers may surprise you. When we think of the Amish, we often picture a simple life, untouched by modern technology. But what if I told you that behind the scenes, the rules are not always as straightforward as they seem? In many Amish communities, technology is tightly controlled. Phones are not allowed inside homes, so families rely on shared phone shacks located on community property. Cars are also forbidden, and horse-drawn buggies remain the primary mode of transportation. However, not all Amish communities are the same. Take the Schwarzentreuber Amish, one of the most conservative groups. They won't even allow battery-powered flashlights, relying instead on kerosene lamps. On the other hand, more progressive Amish groups have selectively embraced some modern tools, such as solar panels and propane-powered refrigerators. Despite the strict rules, a small number of Amish families have smartphones kept hidden and used only for business purposes. This quiet compromise reflects the growing pressure to adapt to modern life while still preserving tradition. According to a 2024 study by the Pew Research Center, over 30% of Amish-run businesses use cell phones, often operated by someone outside the immediate household to maintain community standards. Now, imagine living without a smartphone, internet, Instagram, or YouTube. Could you do it? If yes, comment the number 3. If not, comment the number 0 and share your thoughts with us. Next, let's talk about bundling, a practice that may seem confusing. In some Amish communities, when a young couple begins courting, they spend the night together in the same bed. The twist? They're fully clothed, and a physical barrier such as a board or blanket is placed between them. They whisper through the night, getting to know one another under the watchful eye of strict community rules. It may sound strange to us, but bundling is an example of how different cultures handle intimacy. It's not so much about romance as it is about forming an emotional connection within the boundaries of tradition. But even bundling has its limits. What happens when personal desires clash with strict rules? And what about the darker side of how women navigate relationships in ultra-conservative communities? We'll explore that more later in this video. The Amish world is not one size fits all. In one community, modern tools might be used to build furniture, while in another, only hand tools and raw manpower are allowed. For women, this divide can be particularly stark. What's acceptable in one group might be considered scandalous in another. What do Amish women do when it comes to childbirth and feminine products? In a world so rooted in tradition, how do they manage life's most natural and sometimes risky experiences? The answers may surprise you. Decades ago, Amish women almost exclusively gave birth in hospitals. It was considered practical, safe, and widely accepted, but over time that began to change. Today, many Amish women prefer to rely on midwives or choose to give birth at home, often in small birthing centers located on family property. This change isn't just about saving money, it's about maintaining privacy and preserving tradition. Imagine a young Amish woman preparing for her first child. In her grandmother's time, a hospital birth was the only option, but now she is surrounded by skilled midwives, some with years of hands-on experience. The environment is intimate, focused on natural care, yet modern tools like fetal monitors might be discreetly kept nearby in case of emergencies. Picture this, a small wooden building on the edge of a farm. Inside, it's simple but functional, a sturdy bed, warm blankets, and a cabinet stocked with supplies. The midwife, an older woman with a calm presence, prepares for the birth. While relying on her experience, she keeps a phone within reach just in case complications arise and an ambulance is needed. While home births and midwives are common, they come with their own set of risks. What happens if labor doesn't go as planned? In those critical moments, time is of the essence. Families depend on nearby hospitals for emergencies, and most midwives have a plan to reach them quickly. However, in ultra-conservative communities where phones and cars are not permitted, the stakes are even higher. When it comes to feminine hygiene, practicality meets tradition. In most Amish communities, women use store-bought products like tampons or pads, just like anyone else. But in stricter groups, they may still rely on cloth alternatives, washing and reusing them as part of their daily routine. "My sisters use store-bought products," one former Amish woman shared, "but our grandmother still taught us how to sew our own pads. It wasn't about saving money, it was just how she grew up." From the shift toward home births to the balance between natural and modern feminine products, Amish women demonstrate a quiet strength and adaptability. These choices reveal how deeply tradition and practicality are woven into their lives. Next, we'll dive into the size of Amish families and their child-rearing practices. How do they manage such large households? And why are family sizes shrinking in some communities? Stay tuned for the answers. What's it like to maintain hygiene in a world without modern luxuries? Amish communities differ greatly, from those with running water and daily showers to those that rely on outhouses and a weekly bath. Let's explore how Amish women navigate these extremes. In more progressive Amish communities, hygiene routines are surprisingly similar to what you might expect. Running water, modern bathrooms, and daily showers are common. Both women and men start their day with a quick rinse, with plumbing systems making these routines seamless. But in more conservative groups, like the Schwarzenegger Amish, the story is vastly different. Bathing occurs only once a week, typically on Saturday nights. Without running water, families heat large pots on a wood stove, pouring the water into a shared tub. Each family member takes their turn, beginning with the youngest. Bathroom facilities also highlight this divide. In more lenient communities, indoor plumbing and flush toilets are the norm. In contrast, stricter groups still use outhouses, simple wooden structures situated away from the main house, often lacking insulation or proper ventilation. According to a 2023 survey by the Pew Research Center, nearly 40% of conservative Amish households in North America still rely on outhouses, a reflection of their commitment to traditional living and resource conservation. These differences come down to resources and religious beliefs. In stricter communities, conserving water and avoiding modern conveniences are seen as acts of faith, rejecting luxury to maintain simplicity. Meanwhile, more progressive Amish groups see no issue with using running water to promote cleanliness and health. As a result, these communities find a balance between tradition and practicality. For centuries, Amish families were known for their size, often having 10 to 12 children. But today, those numbers are shrinking. Why the change, and how do Amish women manage the demands of raising so many children? Let's explore. Traditionally, Amish families were large, often very large. Having 10 or more children was not uncommon, reflecting a deep commitment to biblical teachings like be fruitful and multiply, and the practical need for help on family farms. But in recent years, those numbers have begun to decrease. Many Amish families now have closer to 5 or 6 children, marking a significant shift. Several factors contribute to this change. For one, modern farming tools have reduced the need for large families to assist with farm work. Additionally, advancements in healthcare have improved women's health, allowing them to space out or limit their pregnancies. And, like the rest of the world, subtle outside influences, such as the increasing costs of raising children, are starting to impact even the most traditional Amish communities. According to a 2023 report by the Young Center for Anabaptist and Pietist Studies, the average Amish family size in North America has dropped to 6.3 children, compared to more than 8 children in the mid-20th century. Imagine a household with 10 children, all in cloth diapers. This was the reality for many Amish mothers in the past. Washing cloth diapers wasn't just a chore, it was a full-day task. Picture a young Amish woman standing over a steaming washtub. Her hands are red from scrubbing cloth diapers, one after the other as her toddlers play nearby. The smell of soap fills the air, but the piles of soiled fabric never seem to end. It's a life full of constant motion. Raising a family in the Amish world is a full-time job and then some. Today, more lenient Amish communities often use disposable diapers, a convenience that has significantly lightened the load for mothers. In stricter communities, however, cloth diapers and the endless laundry they generate are still the norm. I remember watching my mother, one former Amish man shared. She'd be up before sunrise, working nonstop until bedtime. She rarely complained, she just did what needed to be done. From shrinking family sizes to the ongoing debate over cloth versus disposable diapers, Amish child-rearing practices reveal a blend of tradition and gradual adaptation. But what happens when these families face deeper, darker challenges? In the next chapter, we'll uncover the secrets of cult-like communities and the hidden struggles some Amish women endure. Throughout this series, we've explored the peaceful, structured life of the Amish, their routines, traditions, and roles. But like any close-knit society, there's another side. Beneath the surface lies a world few dare to acknowledge: dark secrets, cult-like communities, and hidden injustices. Let's uncover what some Amish women endure and how hope still finds its way into these stories. Many people picture Amish life as serene, with rolling farmlands, smiling families, and simplicity. And for many, it is. But there are stories that challenge this idealized image. In some of the most conservative communities, strict rules and unchecked authority create conditions for devastating injustice. I grew up in a community where you didn't ask questions, shared a former Amish woman. If something bad happened, you stayed silent. Speaking up wasn't an option. Though these instances are rare, their impact is profound, exposing a darker side to Amish life. Imagine the courage it takes for a young woman to break free from a community where every aspect of her life, from her clothes to her words and even her thoughts, is controlled. For these women, leaving means losing everything: family, friends, and the only life they've ever known. Picture this: a young Amish woman in the dead of night, clutching a small bag of belongings as she walks for miles through the darkness, praying no one will stop her. She's not just leaving a home, she's abandoning her entire identity to find safety. In ultra-conservative communities, women are taught from birth to submit to male authority. Questioning or leaving isn't just discouraged, it's viewed as a betrayal of their faith. This leaves many trapped, with no one to turn to. Thankfully, organizations like the Amish Rescue Mission are stepping in to help. Founded by individuals who understand the unique challenges Amish women face, this group provides shelter, counseling, and legal support to those escaping injustice. "We don't just rescue people, we give them a chance to start over," one volunteer explained. For many, it's the first time they've ever had control over their own lives. These organizations are proof that even in the most isolated communities there is hope. By raising awareness and providing resources, they're helping to break the cycle of silence. The Amish way of life is both beautiful and complex. On one hand, you have a culture deeply rooted in faith, family, and simplicity. On the other, there are hidden struggles that challenge the very foundations of those values. These stories reveal a truth that's as intricate as the Amish quilts they're famous for. Every piece, every thread tells a part of the whole. When you think of the Amish, what comes to mind? Perhaps horse-drawn buggies, candlelit homes, and a world that feels untouched by time. But the reality is much more complex. In this final chapter, we'll explore how some Amish communities embrace modern conveniences while others strictly reject them, highlighting the wide range of Amish lifestyles. While most Amish groups avoid fully integrating into modern technology, many make practical exceptions. For instance, phones aren't usually allowed inside homes, but shared phone shacks on community property allow members to stay connected for emergencies or business. Some Amish businesses even use websites. Here's the catch: the website is often managed by a non-Amish neighbor. And in certain communities, solar panels, propane-powered refrigerators, and battery-operated tools are used quietly, often out of sight. This contrast illustrates how different communities balance adapting to the modern world while still maintaining their principles of simplicity and faith. As of 2024, research from the Young Center for Anabaptist and Pietist Studies reveals that over 60% of Amish households in more progressive orders use solar power or propane to meet essential needs, reflecting their ability to embrace practical technology without compromising their core beliefs. But not all Amish groups follow this path. The Swartzentruber Amish, one of the most conservative groups, avoid running water, electricity, or anything beyond horse-drawn buggies. Their homes rely on kerosene lamps, and their bathrooms are basic outhouses, often shared by the entire family. The term Amish can be misleading because it covers a wide variety of practices. On one end, you have families that are almost indistinguishable from modern society. On the other, there are groups that live as if it's still the 1800s. Imagine the challenge of raising a family without electricity. Laundry is done by hand, food is cooked on wood stoves, and winters are endured without central heating. For some Amish women, this is simply their everyday life, which they accept with quiet determination. This fascinating balance between practicality and tradition highlights the resilience of the Amish way of life. Some communities adapt, embracing technologies like solar power, while others remain steadfast in rejecting even the most basic modern conveniences. In our next episode, we'll take a closer look at how Amish communities navigate the modern world, building businesses, interacting with outsiders, and even adjusting to tourism. Stay tuned for more surprising insights into this unique culture. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next country you want to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Thanks for joining us. Leave a comment, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos. See you in the next video.